Hello students, welcome to class. Don't buy this stuff at Christmas. Look at the title, Toys that are on Santa's naughty list. We're going to have a look at this article. It's by People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. That's what Peta stands for. Let's read it together, okay? All right. We've all heard the song Santa Claus is Coming to Town, and there's one specific verse that likely stands out to all of us more than any other verses. The one that says, Santa's making the naughty or nice list and checking it twice to keep track of who's been good and bad this year. What's worse than being on the naughty list right before Christmas? Well, the good news is that you probably aren't on it because you're a friend of the animals. But these toys definitely are. So to be a kind kid, leave them off your wish list this holiday season. So let's look at what they are, okay? Circus toys. Yeah. The circus is no fun for animals. Those in the circus like lions, tigers, bears, and elephants, they don't want to be there. They're bullied into performing dangerous and sometimes painful tricks that they would never do in the wild. These animals aren't ours to use, and they belong in their homes, in nature, with their family and friends, free to do what they want. Make sense? Yeah. Let's keep looking. Okay, here's another one that says animal catching toys. So look at the beautiful butterflies there. Life in a jar? That's no life at all. Even the smallest animals like ants and butterflies want to be free, not trapped in a small container. Ask your parents or other family members for books about bugs that interest you instead. That way you can still get a close-up visual and see how cool and beautiful they are. Or even ask for a documentary or docu-series on bugs so that you can see better how they move and interact with other wildlife. Sounds like a good idea to me. And here's one about farm toys. Don't buy anything that has to do with farm toys. If you wouldn't eat your dog or cat, then you shouldn't eat a pig, a cow, a chicken, a fish, or any other animal. Once we know that animals are hurt and killed for meat, eggs, and dairy products, it's easy to make the compassionate choice to eat vegan foods instead. So what should you do if you get a farm playset? Make it into a sanctuary. That's a good idea. Sanctuaries are a place where farmed animals and other types of animals can be properly cared for, looked after, and given the life they deserve after being rescued. The animals aren't used by humans, so they get to enjoy their own lives the way they want to. That's good. That's a good idea. Okay, now the other one is real animals. Not a good idea to buy real animals. Let me try and move this margin there. Oh, there, that's better. Poor sweeties in the cage. Animals should never be given as gifts for the holidays. If you want a dog or bunny or a kitty in your life, please ask your parents or other family members for a stuffed animal, not a live one, so like a toy. Animal companions need lots of care and love and attention for their whole lives, not just during the holidays. Unfortunately, those given as gifts often end up unwanted and abandoned. If you and your family are thinking about getting an animal companion, you must consider all the time, responsibility, and effort that go into caring for an animal. And remember, if you all do decide to bring an animal into your family, make sure to adopt. Don't buy. There are many animals in shelters right now who absolutely need to go into homes. So never pay somebody for an animal. Animals are not objects to be bought and sold. Okay, just like we don't buy and sell people. So if you would really like to have an animal in your life, go and adopt one. Go and check out the shelter near you. And if you don't find one that day, then you can always go back another time. All right. Ask Santa for orca freedom. Interesting. That's another thing you can do. So this is another article that we can read about trying to help the orcas in captivity, to release them. And here's some more cool stuff. 8 reasons why horse-drawn carriages are just plain wrong. Did you ever wonder about that? Should we look at it? Let's click on it. All right. 8 reasons. There's 8 of them. If you've ever walked around a big city or even a small tourist town before, you may have seen horses pulling a carriage with people in it. Horses are pretty awesome animals. They're strong, smart, and loving. But do you know what's not awesome? Horses suffer when they're used to pull carriages. Here are 8 reasons why horse-drawn carriages, they're wrong. And I myself have gone to protest these in Montreal downtown. And we actually got them to stop to have horse-drawn carriages, which is really great. You know, activism does help. It does work. So number 1, horses used to pull carriages are forced to work in all kinds of weather conditions. This includes freezing cold and stifling heat. Some horses have even died from heat stroke. Yeah, it's awful when they're used as objects. Because they're sometimes forced to work in big cities and breathe in the exhaust fumes, horses used in this way can get very sick and have problems with their lungs. I mean, picture that, they're just around traffic all the time and their nose is very close to the back of cars like all day. And sometimes they're forced to stand there and there's cars that are going by and the engines are idling. It's not where horses are meant to be. If you love horses, make sure they are let free. Do not bring them into captivity. They're forced to work in busy places like New York City, even though it can cause them a lot of stress. I mean, look at all the stuff they put on them. They put these blinders on them so that they won't get spooked, and they're tied down. I mean, look at all the chains and all of the leather straps. It's just inhumane. How do we know it's inhumane? You wouldn't want it done to you, or anyone that you love, or even your dog or cat. So why would we ever do this to other sentient animals? It's horrific. And people ride on them and think that it's fun. I know, I even did it myself a long time ago. And I just didn't think about, I just thought, oh, the animals are there and they're fine, they like it. I didn't think about how they're imprisoned. Now I see things completely differently. Horses are extremely sensitive to loud noises and unexpected sounds. They don't belong in city streets. They're forced to walk on hard pavement many hours a day, and because of this, they often have serious leg problems. Humans have also been injured because of horse-drawn carriages. Yeah, because sometimes the horses fall, or they get confused or spooked, and then they run away, and it's dangerous for everyone. In 2019 in Savannah, Georgia, 7 people were taken to the hospital with injuries after a horse was scared by construction noise and galloped out of control and fell. They're so scared. Lots of horse-drawn carriages have been hit by cars. In 2021 in Charleston, South Carolina, a carriage was struck by a truck, causing the frightened horse pulling it to take off running, and 2 passengers were taken to the hospital. Reason number 7. Horses may be killed when they become too old and tired to pull carriages. There are no laws preventing these horses from being sent to slaughter. So anytime a human decides, I don't want this horse anymore, they can just go ahead and kill them. Just because they're older. It's not right. Horses aren't protected by the Animal Welfare Act. All animals should be protected. All animals deserve a Bill of Rights. Just like children have a right to be protected under the law and legal representation, so should animals. Because they're the same in the sense that they feel pain, and they might not have the same intellectual capacity as us, but they shouldn't be exploited. This means that local animal control officials are in charge of keeping them safe, but many of them don't have the time to watch the horse-drawn carriages to make sure that the horses are being treated well. Yeah. Want to help these wonderful animals? You can. Never ride in a horse-drawn carriage, and tell your friends and family why they shouldn't either. So thank you everybody for listening today about the things that you should not be buying for Christmas and reasons to not go on a horse-drawn carriage. Even though in the snow here, I know it looks like it would be fun, but just think about the victim instead. Okay? Okay. If you haven't yet checked out Peta, I suggest that you do. Sometimes people tell lies about them, but the way I see it is they're doing a lot of good work to try to help the animals. And you should watch some of the videos. I'll show you one. I'll go over one that tells about all the lies that people tell about Peta. And the reason that they tell lies about them is because these people themselves are either part of the meat industry the dairy industry or the egg industry, or they are people who just keep wanting to eat animals, to keep wanting to pay to hurt them or hurt them themselves. So they try to make up lies to discredit PETA. Look, I know that in every organization, there's sometimes people that are not that great at doing their job and they make mistakes. But in general, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals is a good organization. And by the way, if you go there and you're a kid, you could get some free stickers. I've showed that in other videos, but you can just Google it. Free stickers from PETA. Okay? Okay. Thanks for being here. Coming up on the screen are going to be a bunch of other videos. Click on those. Be curious. Look around that Vegan Teacher site. There's over 1,000 videos. I look at all kinds of different people and different sites. I've done reviews about good chefs and terrible chefs who cook animals, and I've done reviews about kids' TV shows that are good, kids' TV shows that are not good, and I've reviewed many different famous people to try to encourage them to be vegan from now on. So thanks a lot for being here. When you subscribe, you see the button down below? See the button? Subscribe? So press that, and then you press the notification bell. That means that every time a new video comes up, you'll get like a ping, and you can be there in the comment section to type to me and to write about whatever you like in your life, the vegan foods you're eating, and how it's going. Okay? Great. So subscribe, press the notification bell, and help me get these animals out of hell. Thanks so much. Bye for now. Do 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 do.